back. Wayne, Chrebet, Underdog Jets podcast, and dude, we got a lot to talk about because your former teammate Aaron Glenn, this is his first training camp, and yeah, fans and media, they like what they see so far.
Yeah, I liked what I saw. I was there last Friday. It's the first practice with people there, which was great. People came out to watch, and I think they were excited. It was a little bit different, high-paced practice, a lot of energy, a lot of competition. And Aaron, he let his coaches coach, but when he needed to say something, he was vocal. This is like a quiet confidence to everybody. Like, yeah, we're working on something here, but no one's thinking about us. You know what I mean? No one's thinking about 6 primetime games this year.
Yes, that's been one of his mantras, right? To keep it, keep the action and the competitiveness high, but keep the noise and the drama low. And I think actually this is funny. And I'm writing a story about it right now. This is the first time where he's kind of run into some noise. I don't know if you saw it, but a lot of people are taking player quotes and a Glenn quote about McDonald coaching, and they're indirectly bashing the previous regime, which I'm sure Glenn doesn't want. And he tried to correct it yesterday at the presser. But it's not a major thing, but it's just an example of one of those things you'll have to run into and deal with every now and then.
That's what I told you. I said, talking to him with the first press conference and the first questions were about Aaron Glenn and this, that, and signings and different things they were going to do. And the big thing was about taking care of his players, obviously. But, he knew, like, listen, I played in New York for a long time. And I've played other places, and I see how the media is and how the fans are on other places, and I see how it is in New York. He's like, I'm prepared for that. I know I'm going to be, I say something here, and they print what's here. He goes, I know how it's going to be. I know the pressure, I know the media, I know the fans, I know the family members. I know everything. He goes, I'm prepared for it. I wouldn't come here if I wasn't prepared for it. And that's how it's going to be. Anything he says that seems like it's, well, we're not that anymore, or it's different this year, goes right to, well, you're bashing everybody else that was here before you. What are you going to say? We're the same as it's been. Nothing's changed. You can't say that. So you got to say, yeah, things are different now.
Exactly. Like he doesn't want the noise, but he doesn't run away from it either,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
he's not going to run away from it, but you can't, he's not saying, listen, those old coaches or all this or all that, they made wrong decisions. He's just saying it's different. It's better. It's what we haven't had in a while. Oh, he's bashing pre-Salah, no. He's just saying this is how it is. They did what they did, gone. We're talking about 2025 Jets. And
he didn't even talk about them. He's just telling the truth about right now, and then fans put 2 and 2 together. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. 2 and 2, 4, whatever. They put everything, mine's well. Listen, Justin Fields got hurt, he got carted off the field. He walked into the player room. He kind of knew what it was. Everybody's like, oh, Achilles, Aaron Rodgers, this and that, it's over, blah, blah, blah. Why did they bring him in? I'm like, chill. He got off and walked in the building. So, he found out it's a toe dislocated. And it wasn't a big toe, which, people laugh at, like, still a toe.
That's the big thing. Yes.
So I'm going Friday. I'm going in there to do a signing and then go to practice. So I call my parents on the way and talk about Justin Fields. She's like, I heard he got airlifted off the field. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, he got airlifted or something. I'm like, he walked into the complex. But no, the people were saying this and that. I'm like, listen, I get there. I see him jogging onto the field, sign autographs. I'm like, this is how it is. This is how to be a Jet fan. And I understand that, but like, he can't just keep saying, same old this, same old that. What happens from the season on, there's going to be comparisons to the good teams and bad teams. But listen, it's day one. Dude was fine. He practiced the next. It's like, let's just think about it. You know what? Like, you don't want to say something stupid, just sleep on it.
Yes.
Just sleep on it.
See, that's the thing. Wayne, I was there that day, and there was no, when Rodgers went down, everyone knew, like, it was a big deal. There was no moment when Fields went down in practice. He got up, We saw it, like, he just jammed his foot or something, no big deal. He got up, and then no one really made a big deal about it until he was spotted under the tent. And, at that point, still no big deal. We didn't think but at that point, it was like, "Oh god, it's going to be a massive story," because then the cart took him over to the facility. He was in the front seat. He wasn't on the back, but I'm thinking, "Hey, it's 300 yards away. Why would you walk when you can just
Yeah.
take the cart 300 yards away?" You know?
I'm sure other people took the card in because they're tired as shit,
Yeah, I would've.
or they're a big or maybe little hamstring tug. It's just, it's so many cameras and different things. It's like, as soon as something happens, who could tweet it the fastest? Who could put it on
That's it.
social media? This and that. It's like, breaking news. Who can make breaking news? Like, when you get an argument with your wife or your girlfriend or a person or this and that,
Mhm.
just sleep on it in the morning. I guarantee you 99% of the time you're like, thank God I didn't say that, because it would have been stupid. I would have looked stupid. Just sleep on it. If it's serious. They're rolling around, pounding the ground, or like concerned.
Yeah.
Practice went on. There was no issue. There was no
Yep.
like, we're going to have to look and see how serious it was. It was like, no. Which toe was it? It's like, come on.
Yeah.
It's
It
just,
it it it
it's
was
crazy.
insane, and, let me see if I could share I don't know if I could still share the screen. Yeah, I think I can.
Yeah.
It was, I didn't even while the craziness was going on, I didn't even tweet anything because what's the point? Think about it from a fan's perspective. They're scanning social media, they're trying to get info, and then they get like 8 or 10 reporters saying the same thing,
Yeah.
basically. And you think
That's
of
fun.
Rodgers, and I finally said, "Okay, I'll give it a shot." Here we go. Jets fans really shouldn't lose their minds over the Fields injury. We have no idea how serious it is. Blah blah blah. Listen, once the news came out that it wasn't a big toe, that was it. Like
Yeah.
that a non-big toe injury in football is like a hangnail, and it proved to be that way.
Breaking news. Breaking news from, and listen, there's sites, Jets fan sites
Yep.
that I remember. I get a snapshot. My friend said, I heard that 6 coaches and 10 players went down in a plane crash. Jets players. I'm like,
What?
I heard that Joe Namath bought part of the team. Then I saw Curtis Martin in a business suit becomes a new general manager. Then I saw a couple years ago, my friend texted me, Colin Kaepernick to be the new Jets,
I saw
whatever.
that.
I'm like, my people I'm like, listen, don't read this shit, man. Unless you hear from me or like NFL.com, or like, I'm just like, dude, I'm like, you're crazy. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? So yeah, he could have been stepped on. You wrote, yeah, he could have got
He
stepped
got
on.
s Well, that was the worst part. Someone or a couple people reported it that it could have been a non-contact injury, and it was like he got stepped on. That's it. He got
Yeah,
stepped on.
dude, I
Um,
fall down the stairs all the time. There's nobody there. It's non-contact. You know what I mean? And I get hurt worse. Listen, I have a really bad shoulder. I need a replacement, right?
what were you, a pitcher in your second career? What
No, I've
happened?
worked 4 surgeries from over the years, just wear and tear, down. It's just rotator cuff. So I play, pickleball or shoot the basket. Just going
Mhm.
to shake someone's hand, but to the side instead of in front, throws down to my knees. It hurt so bad.
Mm.
But anything can happen. But like, just wait and see. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that was my message. I knew it would be futile in the end, but I gave it a shot.
Right. So
Um,
other than that, there's been no, issues. I'm sure there's
0.
going to be rest for some of the veterans. There's going to be, days that are cut short, which could be from the heat, or you know what, we had a great practice. Let's not go on from there. So there's going to be little things, but just don't read into it.
There will always be little things. Now, listen with Fields too. I want to warn fans. He's a running quarterback. I think he's going to lead the team in rushing. He's going to get nicked up. He's going to get hurt.
Right.
But the good thing with this kid though is he's a tough son of a bitch. Like,
Yeah.
listen, he I've poured criticism onto him about his certain passing abilities,
That's what I was going to
reading.
ask you about. Has has he proved you right, wrong, on the way there? How have you
I
seen his,
think in terms of just passing, it's
yeah,
pretty much what I expected. But here's the thing, like I went into the summer not thinking, okay, I got to see a huge jump from Fields passing
right.
wise. I'm not expecting that. Like that's so far from my mind. The main thing with him, it's more the offense as a whole. How are they coaching the offense and how are they scheming it up and molding it around him? Because I think that provides a high ceiling. And from what I see so far, I really like it.
Listen, when I was there, it looked like he was doing good. It's just, it's just, or for what I'm seeing, he's just making the right plays. He's not being crazy, but yeah, if he pulls that thing, he could straight
Oh,
line it and beat angles.
oh,
So yeah,
dude.
that was the kind of thing I wanted to get into next.
Yeah,
Big
he
thing. We're
yeah,
talking about the live one-on-one tackling. You get
yes.
a receiver in space with a DB, running back or linebackers and linebacker, whatever it is. That is awesome. It is
Yes.
it's something that needs to be addressed. As many mixed tackles we have, and across the league. And you're saying that some of the people are calling Oklahoma this and that.
Yeah.
It's so rare that NFL teams do it that people don't know what kind of drill to call it. It's definitely not an Oklahoma drill. It's an open field
So true.
tackle.
Yes.
What did you think about that?
Dude, guy, it's just I love it. And there was a video a fan had up. I'm looking for it now. I guess it got taken down, which makes sense. You shouldn't be recording that stuff, but it's it's not so much the tackling per se. It's the fact that it's a really fundamental drill that, especially in the modern age, like we did this back in our days in high school, and maybe even college for some people. But you do it in youth. You go full out. Glenn did it on Saturday before they were in full pads, no tackling, just working on angles. 10-yard space, start on the sideline, and then dash to the other sideline and cut it up at any point. So you got to maintain inside out in terms of tackling. Yes, it's good for tackling. People worry about injury, but guess what? If a couple more injuries happen now, the long-term benefit from this is fewer injuries. I promise you, if you play more physically. But the thing I love about it most, forget the tackling. It's about getting the whole team together and putting the spotlight on guys and putting the pressure on them. It's a different feel at practice when you have that type of drill where all eyes are on that one moment as opposed to scattered all over the place, if that makes sense.
Yeah. This is the kind of thing where, from low levels to college to stuff, even
Mhm.
flag football, when you do it, the offense and defense is very competitive. I could hear it with Sauce and, Garrett and all the offense and defense. All of a sudden, it's like, everybody stand here and let's watch these two guys.
Yeah,
And
and they started it too. Those 2 guys
listen,
were the starters of for both
yeah.
sides. Yeah.
So we'll see, the wrap up and let go, the wrap up and drive. But you have to take them to the ground, like my sons think they could push me back. But when they try to do anything, I slam. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
this false sense of like, I can tackle. I
yeah.
can take, Braylon head on. I could take,
No.
this guy or big, it's all of a sudden it's like you hit him and like, oh, I can't take him down. Like, I got to work on this. And the worst thing you can do is get shook or get popped and fumble. And it's happening. And not only our offense and defense going crazy and running around and, like very exaggerated how you would react to some
Mhm.
normal drill tackling. The fans are watching. You'll see some guys kind of moving back in line like they don't want to go.
Yet that
But when
happens
coaches
all the
pick
time.
and you got
Yes.
to go, it's like this is different. And like you said, you got to get used to hitting the ground. You're hitting your elbow. You're hitting your knee. You're hitting the side of your head. This that it just prepares you
Mhm.
for real game stuff. And training camp doesn't do it, and preseason doesn't really do it. It's just this like game situation, mentally and physically.
Yes, I love the mental part. Put the
Yeah,
pressure on him. My coach in high school, I was a small kid, but I could tackle, and
yeah,
he would put me intentionally up against our monster fullback in
yeah,
tackling. It wasn't exactly open field, but it was open field. But we used the what were they called? The holding pads as holes, so
yeah,
still cut up type deal.
yeah.
And it gets you ready, man. It gets you ready like nothing else.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, for everyone to see it, it's a one-on-one in space. Um, Offense has a huge advantage, obviously, because
Especially at this level. That's the one thing. There's going to be a lot of leg tackles because these guys are so
yeah,
quick. It is so hard to make that tackle at this level.
yeah. But you'll see, who the the little boys, who the men, who's
Mhm.
forces the contact, like offense guys that force the contact, like not like stiff arm or run out all get driven out of bounds. Yeah,
Yep.
listen. Oh, you worry about concussions or this and that. Dude, you're gonna get hit. Like you could, it's they're not headhunting. They're not,
No.
going at your knees. It's like form tackling. That was the whole point, was to do it first, hit like quick, what I mean? Reactions, this and that, getting your feet in space, head of course. So you remember, like, oh, I remember this is not form. You know what I mean? It's not just trying to like, pile drive someone. It's like I have to finish it, not just wrap. You know what I mean? Take to the ground. Don't hang in the back. Just smart, competitive, like July football. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
fun. It's fun to
best
watch.
on best and
Yeah.
who's going to win. And I love that he did the drill for open space because that's what this league is about.
Yeah.
Open field tackle, like open field juking, deking, open field space.
Yeah.
Braylon Allen once, I'm looking at the screen. Some of the highlights. Braylon Allen cut it up and tried to truck Cisco on one of them, and Cisco did a good job. Braylon Allen fell forward for a couple yards, but Cisco made the tackle.
Yeah.
Corley juked out a linebacker. Jarius Monroe was solid. On Saturday, before the full tackling started, Sauce ended the session by cutting down the angle from Garrett.
Yeah.
And then once team started, it wasn't, I'll tell fans this, it wasn't full 100% to the ground tackling, which I understand in teams because that's when injuries can seriously happen if it's not one-on-one. But they were much more physical than we've seen in years past. Thud, rap, just don't tackle the ground.
Yeah. Just like I said, give him a thud, but continue to let him run so other people can get their shot and the air angles and stuff like that. And then when you come to the game, you could stone that guy by yourself, but then you got a cavalry coming, second, third guy, and you already stopped them. I never worried about the first hit. I could take that one. It's just when you get held up, it's the second, third, fourth guy that just do damage on you. So it's just.
And from your experience, Wayne, do you think more injuries happen during the season if you don't go through the physical stuff during the summer?
Yeah.
I know it's a different world today. And the hitting doesn't happen during the regular season, but you know what I mean? It's like if people argue against injury, they don't want to see this during the summer, but to me, it's kind of like you have to get it out of the way so you're ready for that physicality during the regular season,
Yeah. You don't do it every day. You
No,
build
no.
into it. It could be, even if he doesn't do it a day, there's a fear of like, they're going to do that again. Like, not that I'm saying they have to practice working on that, but like they're conscious of it during drills where it's just a thud, like, like I gotta not just hit this and that. Which brought me to another thing. Yeah, you got any, those guys woke up a little sore in different muscles than they've been using in training camp.
Yeah,
They fell on what they hit on, this and that, elbow, a knuckle. But here's my point as what was so special that Aaron did. When I talked to Aaron, when he signed, so I taken care of our guys. They took care of Sherwood. Then
yes.
It just Sauce and Garrett, reached whatever. They said, well, we'll take care of it. And they came to minicamp. They came to camp. So, they re-signed them after 3 years, both of them, Garrett and Sauce. Huge deals. There's no drama. There's no nonsense. Look at other teams. Look at McLaren. Look at these. These guys are going to be, $1 million fines, $50,000 a day. No timing with this and that. And the people who got hurt the most are the people who will hold out and come back. It's the hamstring. It's always the hamstring or the calf or this and that because they're not prepared for it. Yeah, I've been running at the local high school, but I just wanted to get into that. Like, yeah, you got to do this stuff. And then Aaron's point was we're going to keep our own and take care of our guys. And when they signed Garrett and Sauce, that told everybody around every player like, hey, I want to play for this team, for this owner, for this coach, because they take care of their own, and that's a massive thing.
It feels like to me he sets the expectation better than anyone I've seen in terms of being a leader and a coach. I'm talking about
Yeah,
Aaron Glenn.
yeah,
And if the player buys in
yeah,
and trusts him, they will be rewarded in the end because we saw it 100% participation with OTAs. Sauce and Garrett were doing the right thing. So does that is that am I along the right path
yeah.
there in thinking that?
Dude, you get a disgruntled uh, player, disgruntled star on your team that's either in there waiting to get signed or in there like
Hassan
not
Reddick.
practicing, but this and that. Oh, that's a cancer in the locker room.
It is. It really is.
But then you got guy like Garrett and Sauce. They got their contract. Some guys like step off the pedal. Dude, they're feeling good. They're free. They're set for life. They're like they feel appreciated. They're ready to prove how good they are. That this it's this laser focus. Like I said, you
Yeah.
get other teams. What if McLaren didn't sign, this far part of contracts, every major player in that team is like, or the quarterback, like, what do you think about McLaren? Should they take care of this? That
Yeah.
drives a wedge between ownerships and their locker room. I would hate to be like, hey, Garrett's not here yet. Have you talked to him? Or what do you feel about they didn't resign Garrett? What are you going to do without Garrett? It eliminated all the drama. You got
That's
rid
so
of the
true.
asshole. Sorry, you got rid of the asshole that caused all the drama the last few years. You sign your good young guys. You do this. You get rid of that. You change this. You know what I mean? It's just
Yep.
like how little drama, how little noise can you go in? There's not 7 primetime games. There's not this. There's not that. It's just focused on getting better and winning. No other team has that like we do this year. Tell me it's somewhere else that has less drama,
I can't. It
less
is.
question marks.
It's very true.
Yeah.
And when you're starting a new program like Glenn is, I can't disagree with it.
No, I'm
Um,
telling you, I've been in every camp I've been in. Someone was this or that or going into this. Listen, who we gonna have for receiver 2 or receiver 3
yeah,
or
you can't avoid the conversation either.
yeah,
And now the conversation with Garrett and Sauce getting paid is that's a carrot dangling on a stick for these
yeah,
guys.
I'm
Like they
telling you.
want that too.
There's no like, what they didn't take care of this guy or that guy.
Hmm.
We didn't sign this guy. What was it Bryce Huff and this and that. And then listen, they tried or someone else took them. They didn't do anything else anywhere else. If they do, God bless them.
Yeah.
You spend your money. Your big money where it's not a waste. It's not a big huge free agent sign that's in their past their prime, but they're still great for the locker room, great player. These 2 kids are in their mid-20s. This is your foundation. This is the next 5 years.
Yeah.
These are guys, Quinn, those 2, Quinn. These are all guys to build around, and that base is massive. And if Justin Fields works out, and you
Yeah.
extend, you know what I mean? It's just you get the tight end of the future. You got 2 running backs of the future. You got 2 offensive tackles of the future. The 2 young guys. This
Yeah.
is how you build a team, man. Through draft and through keeping your guys.
Speaking of the big offensive tackle Membu on Saturday,
Yeah.
it wasn't full pads yet, but it was a second open practice. Will McDonald, did you see him on Friday? He's put on some weight.
Will
He
McDonald? Yeah, I was
he's put
standing
on.
behind him because they were on my side of the field. I was right, in the middle.
Right.
Some of those guys, I was like, "This is a big boy."
Dude, he put on some weight,
Yeah,
and the best thing for this defense is if he could play all 3 downs, and I think he might be able to. He put on a speed to power move where he just straight arm Membu on his
yeah,
back in one of
yeah,
the final plays of teams. It was insane.
yeah. Like I said, that could compare, competition. Like, remember it was gonna be like, all right, I already remember that move. I got to work
Oh
on.
yeah, dude, that's welcome to the NFL for training camp right there. And I'm
Yeah,
not saying, and listen, don't get the wrong idea, Jets fans. Membu, I've liked what I've seen. I've liked what I've seen from the Jets offense in terms of rush concepts. Justin Fields has been solid too. On Tuesday, they were terrible. The offense was terrible. They're gonna have to bounce back tomorrow because they were bad. But if you're looking on the screen, this is how it ended, and this is a good thing. Even though they were terrible all day in the red zone, and Fields' first pass at the red zone was awful, but he responded. He hit Lazard on a dig, intentionally placed it on the backside because he didn't want him to get popped by Cisco, the free safety. And
Yeah.
then that led to this touchdown to Mason Taylor on the screen.
Watch the people running up to him. Brees flexing, guys got their
Yep.
hands up behind number. This is how it is. This is how it needs to be. It's competitive. And I know AD doesn't let it get a hand. All right. 25-minute mark. We're done. Let's put it this way.
Yep.
All the things we're saying, all the things I'm saying are great. They do not equal wins. I'm not saying because of this we're going to be 10-7. We're going to be 7-10. We're going to be I'm not saying what the record's going to be based on this small sample, but from minicamp to the day Aaron Glenn came in the building and the new GM, and things changed. The mindset changed. Practice changed. Competitiveness changed. The accountability changed for. Can you do this? Can you compete in that? It's people, people got signed. All these things equal this better focused team, better technical team, less flags, less this. Just at this point last year, there's too much drama. There's too many question marks.
And no
like
accountability.
Who's going to be second receiver, second this, that. This is where it gets worked out. We are just about in August. They're figuring it out. They're working on the right things, but no one, everybody pays attention to the Jets, good or bad.
Yeah.
They're together. This team is connected. There's no drama in the locker room. They're just competing, making each other better. And like I said, less drama, I promise you, than some of the other teams, most of the other teams in the league. So I think we're at, on August 1st, basically light years away where we were last year.
Yes.
Doesn't equal wins, but if you don't think going into the year that we're not in a better position from, 80th guy in training camp to, the guys who do the towels to Woody to whatever, there's just less confusion, less gap, less static. And that's where I want my team to be on August 1st.
Yes, perfectly said. I think the best way to cap it is there are levels to building this thing, and the early stages with accountability and culture and not bypassing fundamentals is a A+ grade. Whether they win, talent, strategy in season, that's for later. That's going to be the next level.
Right. Last thing is everybody's talented. Everybody has talented players. There's superstars, there's role players, there's a lot of things. The biggest thing, which we had in the past, the biggest thing is when you don't beat yourself in games, not a lot of missed tackles, not a lot of late roughing the passers or hitting out of bounds or personal fouls. Eliminate beating yourself, and that gives you the best chance to win games, stack them, and make the playoffs. And they're in a position, they're so much better at not beating themselves, doing stupid stuff. And it's not just players are like that. Some players do more than others. It's just getting rid of that. And the fear that there's repercussions that if you do, individual stuff, some guys it's just like, it's so selfish to your teammates when you do something that gives them a first down. The rest of the, you know what I mean? Just don't beat yourself. Best situation, and I think they're working on that. They're not there yet, but they're working on that philosophy.
Agreed. It's like a subconscious thing to not let down the teammate, the guy next to you. And I think that's what Glenn realizes.
Yeah. So no, we'll do more. After a couple practices, or if anything else happens, or someone, sprains their fingernail, we'll talk about it.
I can't believe someone told you got airlifted.
My parents, like I'm the source. Why don't you just text me? Hey, is Justin all right? Yeah, he's fine. He'll be out there tomorrow. Yeah, he's like at Robert Wood Johnson getting the kidney transplant. Stupid blood transfusions, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Stop reading that shit, dude.
Oh, dear God.
NewYorkJets.com, JetsXFactor.com.
That's
what I mean? Wayne Chrebet, at Wayne Chrebet.
That's it. Put the National Enquirer down, my
Ooh,
people.
don't listen to the noise.
Yeah.
Listen to us. We're the like, subscribe to us.
Yes,
That's X
sir.
Factor. We're your source.
Yes,
None
sir.
of this
Yeah,
ad receptor stuff.
yeah, use discount code 80 at
Yeah.
jetsxfactor.com. Our good people.
Yes, we are good people. We are, I tend to know what I'm thinking about. I tend to know what's going on. Just
Yes, that is for damn sure.
yeah. So that's it, man. Good show. Hope everybody enjoys it. But yeah, if you got questions, send them to Robbie. We'll get to him on air, or we'll do an article about him.
Yes, yeah. We're gonna do non-live shows to get more to you guys and then sprinkle in some live as we go along. I
Yeah,
think that's gonna
and
be the plan.
download the app so you can get
Yeah.
updates.
Yes. Download the app.
Updates from me. What's going on in the locker room? No
Yes.
names on the stadium. I kind of know what's going on.
Yeah, he's got a. If you guys don't know, he's got an in with the head coach. You know,
Yeah.
a little bit. So yeah,
Yeah.
check us out. Check us out.
All right, man. Thanks, Robbie. Good job.
You got it, Wayne. We'll see everybody later.